There are many ways of importing this into After Effects. The easiest way is just import this whole thing as a project, this PSD. Let's go and import this into After Effects. Let's go back to After Effects. So here we are, and these are my comps. What we'll do is we go to File, and then Import, File. So here we'll go and locate our Photoshop file. In my case, I've just put it into this GFX. So let's say this is my car1.psd. Now there are two ways of importing it. One is the footage, and then the other one is composition and composition crop layers. So we are not importing one footage. So what we're doing is we are just importing the whole project. So we go to import as composition dash crop layers. We use crop layers because it will bring the whole thing as it is, and the anchor points are easier in this one to animate. So let's select this one and then just open, and it'll ask you a few questions. You say composition crop layers, yes. Editable layer styles. Editable layer styles is, sometimes you apply effects, so it imports all effects as well, into After Effects. So live photos, Photoshop 3D, we don't need it right now because it's very basic. So let's press OK. Here we are, and this is the composition. Now if you click here, it will tell you the composition size is 720 by 576, which is PAL resolution, So if you double click here, it will take us to the composition, So let's put all these into another new folder. So let's create a folder. So we come here and just click here to the new folder, and let's type TUTS, which is tuts, so that we don't confuse this folder, the original folder. So let's click this car1 layer here and put it into tuts. Just drag it, and this car1 as well, put it into tuts, right? And don't worry about the solids, just leave it like that. So when you open this with the arrow here, this is our composition again. So I've designed this composition 720 by 576, right? So if you go back to Photoshop, if you go and image size, they show you 720 by 576, right? That is the PAL resolution. If you want to do NTSC, then you can do NTSC 640 by 480 or the other NTSC sizes, depending on which part of the world you are, So you have to, so the pixel dimensions, has to be according to your TV. So that's it. Keep the resolution 72 and just press OK. So it's just for, wanted to show you this, so press cancel. Let's go back to After Effects. So whatever the file size is in Photoshop, it will import it as it is into After Effects. So that was one way of importing, the project. And then there's another way of importing project, which is importing, each element separately. For example, now this is the same file, so let's go and turn off these layers here, and we have got only background. So we go to File, Save As, and press J and JPEG, and let's go and make a new folder, for example imports, or anything that you want to write. So open this folder and put here, write, for example BG, this is background. So press OK. Now what we are doing is basically importing each product, each element separately. You go to car. Now if you save it as it is, for example Files, Save As, again JPEG, and then imports, for example this is car, save, and if you go back to the folder here and open those imports, you'll see that the car comes with a background. When it comes with the background, the problem is if you go to Photoshop and again File, Import, File, and we go to and locate our imports and car1. So here's our car1, and if we drag and put it on top of our project, this is what happens. It basically comes with the background, and you cannot remove the background. So that is a problem if you bring a JPEG. So for such images, you have to save them as PNGs. For example, if you go back to Photoshop, and now here you have to first save the selection. If you select this car here and go to select, load selection, and say OK, and now this selects the whole car here, and then go again to select, save selection, press OK, and then Control D. So now the selection is saved. Now if you go File, Save As, and go and select PNG, because this saves the alpha as well, and imports, and then you go car1.png and save, press OK. Now the car is saved. Now if you go back to After Effects and go to File, Import, File, and this is our car1.png, and again footage, just go and open. So now this comes without a background, and if you drag it here, you'll see the car here this is the previous one, JPEG, and if you delete it, press delete on your keyboard. So now you can see that our car is here without a background. This is very important that you have to know. Similarly, you just go and bring your tires here, front wheel and rear wheel, by doing the selection and saving the selection. So this is another way of doing the project, importing them one by one. So I hope you're following me. I'm just going through this, so that we haven't started the tutorial yet. I'm just telling you different ways of importing a project. So you have seen now 2 ways of importing project. Delete this one as well.